Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it's time for another episode of Dadbod to Daddy, and today was a lower body day. So we started off with back squats and she came in and did high bar squats, right? Beltless high bar squats. What I went with is what I said I wanted to do. Let's just do one heavy top set of squats, work on progressive overload, and then we'll just do pump work afterwards. So for me today, that meant belt squats and then it meant sissy squats. And I'm not doing huge amounts of quad volume because quite frankly, I just don't have to have it. It's not necessary for me. And again, I've had a lot of discussions with you guys about training volumes and just making good progress versus trying to get that last 1%. And I feel like with the lower body stuff, particularly with all the potential for axial loading, this is where I need to really watch my total volumes. So I'm really just coming in and doing one heavy set of squats and deadlifts every week and doing other stuff that is easier on recovery afterwards. But again, it keeps with my power building theme because we do heavy squat, bench, and deadlift. So with the high bar squats today, these went okay. I managed to get 5 reps of 345, so this is just going to slowly come up, and I'm just, like I said, I'm going to work on progressing on these top sets, right? Let's get in and just progress on them until I get all the way back to a 500 squat, which is really all I ever have to have the rest of my life. Like, quite frankly, I really don't care about being stronger than that. It's especially as I'm closing in on 50 years old. If I can still squat 500 pounds or get back up to that, perfectly happy. I will have great leg development at that point, but not necessarily just from the squats, but from doing everything it takes to get there. So went with belt squats, and I decided let's just stick it out. Look, I get a good stimulus from this when I do this really narrow stance, right? And I go deep, but that belt is really uncomfortable. I don't like it. I really wish I had a leg press, but I'm not going to complain about it because you know what? This machine has served me pretty well. I've kind of figured out how to make it work. And if you guys notice this position I get into, I'm getting deep, we're getting below parallel. So this is going to carry over very much to my high bar squat. It's going to carry over to building my quads, my adductors, my glutes. So we did 3 sets of it. And so really, yeah, I only had 5 real sets for quads today, but they were hard sets. And as I've said before, anyone who says 5 or 6 sets doesn't grow muscle even in advanced lifters has never looked at the literature. Okay. Absolutely doable. But the upside, I'm also not walking around with leg DOMs all the time, right? So I'm not even going to get sore from this. So that's kind of a perk for me because right now, I have good leg development. Look at my hamstrings and calves. It's not a big deal to me compared to upper body. Triceps, delts, things like that really are going to be a priority. And I'll get to that in a minute with this. I did triceps at the end of my leg day. And I think that works well with my tricep day being Monday, and I did something that's easy to recover from. So that's something worth discussing a little bit too, that the higher frequencies and volumes adds very, very little, but it can bring overuse, it can bring overtraining, but can we get away with it for one muscle? Can we take our weakest link and get away with doing that sort of stuff? And I think the answer there is potentially yes, if you're careful about what you do, and I don't think it will interfere significantly with recovery, but I'll know on Mondays if it does, right? If my bench press starts regressing and I feel the triceps weak, then I know that's the issue. But as far as the band press downs all the time, they even did that at Westside a lot of times. Louis Simmons prescribed that. I've done it to clients who just really needed the elbow tendon health, right? To where I've had them do band press downs every day. Had them do them every day just to build those tendons up. But I think in this case, it might be worth pursuing just to help bring up the triceps. Because like I said, if my side and rear delts and triceps come up as I get leaner, should be in a good place. So the sissy squats, because I only did 1 set after doing, 3 sets of leg press, which were not leg press, belt squats, which were pretty hard. I did these, I'm like, let me just see how many reps I can actually get if I just keep going. I got to like 31 or 32. Right, pretty good for this 45-pound plate. I can live with that, and it also gave me, a pretty deep burn in the quads, and it let me kind of finish them out because I did a fairly heavy set of squats, which I absolutely felt in my quads, particularly doing high bar. Right, felt that in my quads. The belt squats done correctly also give a deep burn in the quads, and so they got hit with, stuff in the 5 to 10 rep range. I'm like, let's just do one really, really high rep set. Let's just chase that pump, get that extra pump, get that blood flow to it, just to finish the quads out. Okay. Do I think this necessarily has an enormous training response? I don't think that it does. I am not a believer in always at the ultra high reps produce robust training responses. I'm aware there's literature showing they do, but they can be good as finishers. Right? I think they can be good as finishers, and it's just to get that extra volume, extra blood flow. We can argue about whether a pump contributes at all to muscle growth. No real evidence that it does, right? No real evidence. But I did get a pump, and I did get a burn. But again, trying to make the last set hard. I needed to take it pretty far to do that, and I was happy with the way it turned out. So then I did my one set of hanging leg raises, right? Which is enough, I feel like, today, because I think one of the days I did, 2 or 3 of them. So as long as I get at least one set every one of my training days, and then I did some other ab work throughout the week, I'm happy with it. Again, the benefits: trains my grip, helps with shoulder health, shoulder mobility, in addition to being a great ab exercise. But one of the things I've also questioned is I was doing so many of them, I felt like it was starting to impact my grip, just due to maybe my grip not fully recovering potentially. So again, recovery is the name of the game. Recovery is the name of the game. And then I finished off with a bunch of sets of band press downs, right? We did band press downs. Again, wanting to get that pump blood flow, just something that's easy to recover from to the triceps. It's also then good for the tendons, because I really want to focus more and more on triceps. And really, they kind of get hit on my shoulder day too, because I overhead press. But I have that one dedicated chest and tricep day. And again, this is kind of me experimenting with, can we get away with maybe one muscle group of doing the extra stuff, right, on other days, and getting that higher volume and higher frequency on just one muscle that's maybe a weak link. And I don't think that's unreasonable. So that's kind of what I did here, right? Just wanted to make sure I got them before I go into the weekend and fully recover, because I tend to recover on the weekends. I relax, I don't train. Just some light cardio and walking. Okay. I tend to fast a lot longer on the mornings on the weekend. And sometimes my Friday nights I eat a little heavier, right? Just social reasons. I don't necessarily eat junk though, but I do tend to eat more because I'm oftentimes in social environments. So yeah, happy with today's workout overall. Feel like the squats are starting to slowly come back up there, because that was a good top set. So happy with the workout, so I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.